I'm not that kind of person though. I always try to eat anything like people that are our age and they're
Mhm.
like, "Yeah, I wouldn't eat sushi." You're an idiot.
People
Like
don't say
you're
that anymore. People don't say they
Yes,
won't eat
they
sushi.
do.
Really?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's people. I swear to God. I swear to
Really?
God. We'll put out a poll. If you're above 30 years old and you're like ill about sushi, you're a I don't know what you're a fucking asshole.
Don't insult them if you want them to answer the poll honestly, dude. You can't go, we'll put out a poll to see who likes sushi over 30, but if you say no, you're a fucking idiot. You can't do that. You're not gonna get any answer.
This is friends partying in hell.
That fool said, I'm above average. I mean, I ain't no Ron Jeremy or nothing.
Hey, stay with me, man. Stay with me.
I mean, you can stop right there. That's horrible.
You hear that, Netflix? You hear that? Also, give us a shout.
I have no idea what I'm talking about most of the time.
The only podcast approved by the Vatican. That's the American spirit right there. You weren't expecting that, were you? This is Friends Partying in Hell, the only podcast that gives you the right amount of vitamin A for your weekly intake. I am joined today with my good buddy, Anthony.
What up? What up?
And on today's episode, we're going to talk about pretty much a lot of current topics of the week. Got a couple things lined up. And then also, we're going to just kind of shoot the shit today. And I think we're going to start off by, we were talking earlier off the podcast how I was like really pissed off at work. It's funny because I don't know who at work listens to this, but I, I also don't care. I don't care. That's how over it I am. Like, so so just to kind of at least give you context too, because
Yeah.
I was talking about it. So I have to film something in June, but I have to fly to Mexico. And they first of all, I finding out now, it's not a big deal. It's still a little whiles away, but it's still kind of like I wish I would have known sooner because the way they brought it up was very like it's already in the pipeline and stuff, and they're like letting me know kind of the last person to know or whatever. So I'm already like upset that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm already starting off the conversation like mad that I'm just like, so why am I just hearing about this now? Like what the fuck, super unprofessional. And then um I was already upset before because we're working on another event thing and they're giving me no budget and I'm like figuring this out or whatever. So I'm already just not in a good mood with these people. And so this dude, he's a new hire. He's like the head of production now. But dude doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't have no clue what the fuck he's talking about. What he's
Can I
doing.
ask you a question real
Sure.
quick? All right, so he's head of production. Where do
So
you
I'm
fit
a
in
I'm
the
a
hierarchy?
producer. So
Okay.
he's pretty much the head of like technically. There's a couple producers. There's me and two other people.
Okay.
And so he's like in charge of whatever.
Okay.
So which is fine because we needed a hierarchy. So we needed that role, but at the same time, this dude, I don't know, he fucking doesn't know what he's doing. And so he's like, "Hey, we're gonna go to Mexico and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Hey, are we? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm already kind of like starting off like mad sassy, and he's like, "Yeah, he's like, we're going to Mexico. Let me call you real quick." So he gives me a rundown. It's super whatever. I'm just like, okay, cool. So then I'm like, they're telling me that I'll fly in on a Saturday or whatever. And remember, I told you my last trip that happened and stuff, and how shit that was. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really like just like not like I'm like what are we doing? How are we doing this? Like whatever.
Yeah.
And for people who are either listened to that last time, I can't remember what episode that was, like episode like 45 maybe,
Yeah, I think it's 44, 45 around
something
there.
like that.
Yeah.
I have this whole like how I had caught the flu and it was whatever. So he tells me um yeah, he tells me the rundown and stuff, and I'm like, all right, cool, like I get it, like whatever, I'll do my part, whatever. And um that's it, we get off the call. But then I remembered I needed to ask him something I completely forgot, and I was just like, hey, by the way, I'm not trying to stay in anyone's room, like I'm not trying to share a room, like I want my own room.
Yeah.
And then he goes and I'll actually read this for verbatim, so I'm not over here
Oh,
like making it up,
saucy.
but
Feeling saucy today, huh? Okay.
I'll read this verbatim just to see that I'm like like I'm not the one like being a dick or whatever. Um, so I wrote, quick question: I prefer not to share a room on this trip to Mexico. He wrote back, let's see that next week. Ideally, no, because ideas to optimize resources. And I wrote, yeah, I got sick last time sharing a room, and I would want to avoid that again. And then he writes, I understand. I believe it was already shared. You got shared in your car, like, because we rode together or whatever. The guy was
Hmm.
sick. So apparently, this motherfucker's a virologist, and he knows like when and how people get infected
Yeah.
or whatever.
And it's
So he
your
wrote,
fault. It's not the company's fault. It's your fault
yeah,
for okay.
yeah. So he's like, I understand. I believe it was already shared in your car, but I do get what you're saying. And then I was like, oh man, like how do I write back without like, saying fuck you or something? So I wrote, yeah, and then I wrote, so he wrote, I believe it was already shared in your car, but I do get what you're saying. That's it. Like, okay, so you get what I'm saying. Then I wrote back, yeah, and not being able to sleep while a person snores isn't the best way to get rest having to work the next day. You understand.
You get it.
And then he never wrote me back. So yeah, like that's like the politest way I could be like, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I think you
Like,
handled
and
that pretty well.
I think so, and I think
Yeah.
that yeah. So God knows how this trip's gonna go because I'm already just not.
It's like a month and a half away and you're ready like I don't want to do this. I don't want to deal
Yeah,
with this.
already, bro. I'm already. So then he was like, yeah, you'd be leaving on a Saturday, and then you come back Friday. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna be gone for a whole week. And then I was going to ask, what about the Saturday and Sunday? Like it's a weekend. Like I'm not. Why are
Mhm.
we working weekends all of a sudden? Like I'm not doing that. I'm not getting paid extra for that. So
Yeah.
then I didn't even. I was going to ask. I was going to say, what about, can we like, does that become like extra time off day? I could take them off like whatever. And then I was like, fuck that. Why am I even asking that? And I just straight up, I was like, yeah, I'm not flying the weekend, so you could fly me in Monday. And that was it. He's
No.
like, okay. He's like, all right, cool. I forgot to mention that part too. I was just like, yeah, bro, I'm not flying in on a motherfucking on my Saturday. Suck my dick, man. Fly me in Monday morning. I don't give a fuck. Y'all figure that out. Like, it's your job, ain't it? You know what I mean? You wanted to be
Fair
the
enough.
fucking production person. You go fucking figure it out. So, yeah,
Produce.
fuck all that, man. I'm not. Fuck that shit, man. They got all this goddamn money and they want to be cheap as shit and suck my dick with all that stuff, man. I'm
That's
fucking angry, bro. I'm so angry.
I mean, but that's one, and what's crazy is that's one of the things you have to deal with working in the creative field, right? It's like having to it feels like every project, and I know that you work consistently, but the type of work you do takes you from one project to another project to another project. And I'm in the same vein where I work. I'm a writer, but I work from one project to the next project to the next project. And I don't think in any other field do you have to sell your services with every new project, because
Mm,
what inevitably happens every time you start to work with a new client is you run into budgetary issues. Like they
hmm
have this proposal that they want to complete, and then you're like, yeah, that sounds great, what's the budget? And the budget is peanuts. And you're like, I don't know how to facilitate that on this budget. So you
Yeah.
have to do is like do you find that the same, that you have to then resell what it is that you can do for the company, even though you're already in the meeting, you've got the job, but now you have to like fight for the budget to make their thing happen. Otherwise, if you don't make what they want happen on that tiny budget that they give you, now you look unprofessional and bad at your job.
I mean, like, just for example, what's happening. So next week I have a thing to film, and so
Mhm,
it was just like I, since we're it was up to me to create the budget and whatever. So
mhm.
got that done, sent it in, and they're like, "No, this is too much." So I'm like, "Okay, so then what's your guys' solution then?" Because
Yeah.
I'm doing this as most efficient, and I hate using the word cheap, but this is as cost
Cost
effective
effective.
as
Yeah.
possible because they're also people I know. These aren't third party vendors. These are like people who work in the field too. So it's also my connects that I'm giving you, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, no, we're not gonna do that. And I'm like, okay, so then what's the plan? And then their plan is like worse because they're flying people in, which can't be cheaper. And I'm just like, okay, they're putting people up and all this shit. And then like just today, I realized that like so I ordered some sound equipment stuff that we need
Hmm.
total cost is like $2,300 or something for whatever amount of days we're filming. That this is just sound equipment.
Yeah.
And then go look at my original budget proposal, and the sound guy and all the stuff that we're asking for separately, he has everything, was 2,500. So like, just because we're like $200 cheaper and causing more of a fucking headache,
Yeah.
like, because why?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I don't even think it's the $200. I think it's just because they're just, I don't even know. I don't even have the answer to that, which is more annoying because I don't know why, like, we're fucking skimping on shit that doesn't need to be skimped on, because like we're doing something major, and it's just like, I don't know, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck if the ship fucking catches fire and sinks into the water at this point, cuz it's like I did my end. I did my
Hmm.
end, man, and it's just like, what more? You know what I mean? What more? And I'm not going to stress out about it either. That's the other thing.
Exactly. Exactly. I think it becomes one of those situations where you're just like, you know what, man, I I'm not going to try to convince a multi-million dollar, multi-billion dollar company that they should spend a little bit extra in order to get the results they want. If this is what you want to do, then fuck it. I'll just do that. And
Yeah.
however it turns out is how it turns out. Because I had a situation not too long ago where they sent me so I work, my field is in clothing stuff, right? I write descriptions, I write blogs and stuff like that for a couple different companies. And one of the companies that I work for, they sent me a big box of fabrics that they wanted me to come up with the descriptions and the titles for the fabrics and all this different stuff. And these people know my rate. They know what my rate is. So when it came down to, once I counted everything out, I saw how many fabrics it was. I kind of, can plan my how long it would take to complete this project. And I hit them back with a tentative invoice of what this would cost.
Hmm.
We can't pay that. We can't do that.
So then what's the solution?
Exactly. Because you know what
Yeah.
my rate is. When you sent me this, I've done projects like this for them in the past. You
Yeah.
know what my rate is. And now, yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like, so you know what my rate was a year ago. And a year ago, we did this project that consisted of X amount of pieces. Now you're sending me double the pieces that I had a year ago,
Mm.
knowing what my rate was on that project, and you don't want to pay my rate for this, even though you could have done the math and figured out that maybe we should find somebody else.
I look, I like, here's the one thing about that kind of stuff too. Is like, when I say like you figure it out if that the ship like gets set on fire or whatever, as
Mhm.
long as that I'm not on the ship. That's
Yeah, I don't
also
want
the
to go
thing.
down with the ship. I
Yeah,
want to
I'm
be
not trying to go
safe,
down with the ship.
safe and
So
sure.
yeah, so all the shit that they're doing, I'm double checking that everything is on you.
Yeah,
Like, this is what you
absolutely,
wanted. This is what you
absolutely.
asked for. This is what happened. So I told you no. I told you no. I gave you a budget proposal. I did
Yes.
everything to cover my ass, and it's covered. So this is what you guys want to do. Go for it.
Then
Shoot
here we
yourselves in
go.
the
Yeah,
fucking face for all I give a shit. I don't care.
there it
You're
is.
not gonna listen to me. Whatever. But anyway,
There it
yeah, I was
is.
really pissed.
I
Really
get,
pissed
yeah,
about it.
and you get pissed off because it's like, you hired me for a reason, right? You hired me because of what I do, but then you won't listen to me when it's time for me to do my job, and it becomes frustrating to have to deal with that day in and day out
Yeah.
on every time, like you said, every time we move to another project, then it becomes that same kind of tug of war again. And
That's
don't get me
same.
wrong, that can be the nature of the beast. And a lot of times it is exciting and it is fun and it is nice to have those collaborative discussions where you're figuring out how to get from point A to point B to point C to point D. But there are those times where you're just over it, where you're like, look, man, we've been through this. We've been around the block on this a few times. Where do we go from here? Because we're clearly not seeing
Yeah.
eye to eye. What
Yeah.
do you want to do then? Just tell me what you want to do, and we'll just do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
And then I'm also in a position right now too where I'm like asking for more money, because like I'm just
yeah,
like with everything going on and everything, I'm just like, dude, don't even fucking play with me. Like I'm so, dude, I'm so over it. I'm so over it. And so anyway, that's what I'm hoping, that like the podcast is kind of a cool kind of like escape to do creative stuff and have a good time. Like, I don't come on the podcast and I get stressed out because of the podcast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm out here, I'm literally on here like expunging my stress because like this
Yeah.
is a place, it's a safe space for me.
It's a safe place for us. Yes, yes. Our little
Yeah,
snowflake needs.
yeah. So anyway, I don't know, but yeah. So I feel like, but you know, this is like for everyone listening too. Like, yeah, quit your job, man. Like, fuck the, fuck your job, quit. Well, they can't do shit if we all quit at the same time. If the whole
if they'd be dead in the water straight up, like if we all quit at the same time. Look, man, look what happened when COVID happened and everybody had to stop working. Boy, these corporations got real friendly with us, didn't they? They
yeah,
started being real super friendly with us, slashing prices and trying to lure us back in.
yeah,
Bro,
dude,
yeah, man,
yeah.
like they'd
Um,
be lost without us, straight
no,
up.
dude. So I think like at least for me, the one thing about kind of maybe like I guess some maybe emotional maturity or I don't know, at least more confident with my experience in work and stuff because I always there's always such an imposter syndrome sometimes when you're
Yes,
doing stuff and you're like, man,
yes.
dude, I don't even know like whatever, but I'm so over that now. Like I like I'm so over that imposter
Really,
and
I still feel it
yeah.
sometimes. I
No,
do.
I'm over it. I'm over
Yeah,
it. For certain things, I think
yeah.
whatever my next like whatever the next thing is, I'll probably it'll come back, I guess.
Mhm.
But I feel like I need it, you know, like I need. Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like I think in times like this, at least for me, in the past, like my experience has always been like, all right, well, like figure this out because this ain't working for you. We got to do something different. And not that I haven't been doing other things or whatever, but I feel like it's even more incentive to like like stuff that I've been wanting to do anyway. I don't think it's any secret that I want to direct and make like films and like do other creative projects and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
so yeah, I think like literally, I think my time is running up at this place because I'm already annoyed at these people. I'm not getting paid what I want at this point, just because how everything is now. Really, is kind of
yeah,
how it's becoming.
yeah.
Um, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean, I
know.
don't.
I don't know. Within the next couple episodes, I'll be on the street. I'll be recording
Nah,
this on my cell phone in the park
nah,
under
bro.
a tree.
I don't believe that for a second, man.
This is
I
friends
know you
partying in
for
hell under a tree.
under a tree at a park. Thank God I live in Miami where the weather's always nice. But no, man, like I've known you for a long time. You've been doing this for a long time. You're good at what you do, man. Like straight up, I don't see you having a problem getting in
No,
anywhere
no, I'll
else.
be fine. I'll be
Yeah, you'll
fine.
be
It's
totally
just,
fine.
just more. I'm just
Regardless of
sick of it. I'm just sick of it.
yeah,
But yeah,
it happens. It happens. Just for the record, though, I know Rudy said he don't know who listens to the podcast that he works with. He don't care. I don't know who listens to the podcast, but I do care. So, um, anything I just said, please take that with a. I'm not talking about you. I was talking about the other person.
yeah, I wonder who listen. Like, I wonder who. Like, there are people that I know that do listen, but they
Mhm.
don't work there anymore. So I don't think
Yeah,
they'll like care. They'll be like, oh yeah. But I wonder who too. It's funny because work people are always like, yeah, give us your podcast. I'm like, I am not giving you the link to this fucking
absolutely not.
podcast.
Absolutely not. No, I've told people no many a time. Like, just like, nah, I don't think, I'd rather just keep our relationship professional. I don't think that it would behoove us, our working relationship, for you to see me in that light. Like, straight
Yeah.
up. I told people that straight up.
I
And they're
don't
like, okay, I respect that. Yeah, please do.
I don't I don't want you to come across the part where we're talking about this dude has an obsession with fucking his Chevrolet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
maybe this isn't the guy we want writing our brand content. Yeah, like yeah, maybe like you like my sense of humor, right? Cool. That's part of why you bought me on. Great. You don't need to see the other side of that. You don't need to see what
yeah.
makes me laugh.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's funny.
All right. Well, how's your week been? Like enough about me. I'm over here
My-
bitching and moaning.
Nah, man, my week's been. I mean, just nothing eventful. Honestly, it's been pretty chill. Like nothing crazy's happened. So,
Oh, we won our first game.
oh, you won your first baseball game.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you have a
I didn't
video?
play though. I didn't
You
play.
didn't play. So what you're telling me is you won your first game because you were not at bat at any time.
No. I
It was
think
because of your
I don't
absence
think
that you
I
won.
no. I don't think that would have mattered really. I hurt my back Yeah, I didn't tell you that happened to me too. Damn, I had a
No,
lot of shit going on this
you
week.
had a
I kind
busy
of forgot.
week. Holy
No, so
shit!
over the weekend, so I have season tickets to soccer. I think I've mentioned that to you before.
Yes, yes, yes.
And so I go. It's almost mostly every weekend they have a game, if not out of town or something. But they had a game on Saturday, this past Saturday, and it was raining really really hard. And the bleachers where we are, our little thing is they're like metal. It's like a
Yeah.
metal section, and um, I was walking down the bleachers and my feet just picked up from under me and I just like slammed like on the metal, like straight on my back and shoulder, and I slid down
Oh no!
in front of everybody, man. And then
Oh
I didn't
no!
even look up. I was so embarrassed, bro. And and this lady was just like this one of the security guard ladies was just like, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And I'm over here like just like my fucking ass was on fire, and I'm like, "Fuck." So I was already kind of hurt because I've been starting to work out again and stuff. So I was like, my body was just like I couldn't move really.
Just
But
sore
then my
already.
back, yeah, but my back got fucked up. So next day I woke up and I was sore, but I'm like, okay, it's just because I've been working out, and it's not because of the fall or whatever. But like, no, come
Two things could
Monday,
be true.
yeah, come Monday, I got out of bed, and that was the day of the game, and we play Mondays. Like, come Monday morning, I get out of the bed, dude, and I was just like, ugh! Like I was just like a stick, and I just like got up, like there was no twist, right? And I was like, fuck, yo. And it was just because it's just bruised. I just hurt myself. It wasn't like I fucked my back up, but I still
Yeah.
hurt myself, right? Because
Yeah.
I literally landed with like full force. Like I didn't just slip. I just went whoop, and then I swooped down,
Oof.
and so I didn't play, but I went to go support anyway and stuff, and
Of
then
course.
but they
Yeah.
won,
Nice.
and it was like our first win. We have, I think, two more games, I think, to the end of the season, but
So
we're
the
like,
and that's your first win?
yeah, we're like, I swear to God, we're like 7-1.
1-7. You're one and
Oh,
seven for people that
one and
yeah,
seven.
don't you
Sorry,
don't
one and
inflate
seven.
those numbers. 1-7, bro.
1-7. Yeah.
7-1 makes you a pretty good team. 1-7, not so
Yeah.
much.
Not so much, not so much.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man. That's
We
I'm
played a
sorry you
team that
hurt your
was
back.
worse than us.
Well, yeah,
That's
that's why
how
you
we went.
beat them. Yeah, that's why you
Yeah,
beat
no,
them.
no, but they were like ridiculously bad. Like that's the only way we could have won this season because how bad they were. You know what I mean? That's the only way. That's the only
Yeah,
way.
sounds like
Yeah.
being a typical Floridian sports fan. Unless you're a fan of the Heat, that sounds like or the Bucks, I guess, the Buccaneers. But otherwise, if you're a Jacksonville or Miami Dolphin fan or something like that, you're used to that. You're used to. Oh yeah, the only reason we won that game is because we played a garbage team.
Yeah,
Well,
Florida sports is funny that way. Um,
it is.
it doesn't feel like there's a hardcore culture like other like states and other sports. Like they're just like really doesn't matter thick or thin kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's
But I
because
don't know. But
Florida is
either
such a
way,
I think it's because it's such a snowbird state, right? You have so many people coming
yeah,
into Florida. It's the same. I think it feels the same way in LA, right? We both lived in LA, and you can probably see that
yeah,
happening
yeah.
there too, because it's such a melting pot culture that the local team, like me, I'm a diehard Dolphins fan. I I
Right.
I love the fucking Dolphins, love them forever. But of everybody I know from there, like your brother was a Jets fan for a minute, and like so it's like
Giants
it's
fan. He's a
a Giants
Giants
fan.
fan.
Sorry,
He's still a
Giants fan.
Giants fan. Yeah.
Giants fan. Yes. Sorry. And then I have another friend who is a Jets fan. You know what I'm saying? And all these people live in Florida. So it's like, yeah, the culture is it's a little bit removed from the local fan base, but I do feel like there are some diehard locals. Like Jarvis is a
Yeah. I
diehard
mean, yeah,
local
yeah.
who
You
won't
guys
tell
are.
anybody that.
Yeah, you guys are pretty hardcore about the team you guys follow.
Yeah,
For
I love
sure.
it. Yeah,
Um,
love my boys. Can't wait for next season, bro. All these off season signings and fuck them picks and going out again in Tariq Hill and Teron Armstead and we just signed Melvin Ingram just last week, man. I'm super super stoked for next season. Like I may have to
go sports.
yeah, Sports USA. Let's do it. But yeah, enough of that. We're not a sports podcast, so enough of that. Let's move on to the
Plus I
next.
have no clue what you're talking. Dude, I stopped watching football years ago, and I
Mhm.
think I mentioned this already.
Yes.
Like, yeah, it's just like Yeah, the whole like people getting concussed and having their
It ain't
lives
great.
ruined. The whole thing is just so corrupt and
It
bad. And I
ain't
was just
great.
like left a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like,
It ain't great. But you know, the way I this is gonna be real controversial. I'll be honest. Like the way I feel about it is like it's a choice. There,
yeah,
nobody's,
yeah,
nobody's
yeah,
forcing them to play. They're incentivizing them heavily with $1 million contracts to play.
yeah, yeah,
But then
yeah.
you have to weigh that against do I want to go through life? Do I want to be 30 years old and be walking around like Antonio Brown, who's doing all kinds of weird, like this guy clearly has issues, and those issues were exacerbated by getting hit in the head for however many seasons he's been playing. Like, so you have to weigh that against
Yeah.
your own livelihood, that check versus the problems that you may face down the line. And so I do agree that it is a problem, but it's not my problem. And so I watch. So I watch and I enjoy.
Look. It's you're right. You're right. It's also my choice to not like watch. It's also my choice not to watch.
Which is
But
totally fair.
in
Yeah.
the same token, the World Cup is this year, and they're
Hmm.
doing it in a country where it was heavily bought. The World Cup bid was heavily bought. There's tons of stories about like migrant workers that were taken to Qatar to build the stadiums and people dying in their working conditions. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch the World Cup.
You're gonna watch exactly. See, I think that's a little bit different though. Honestly, I feel like because
no,
I feel
no,
like
no. Hey, two bad things. One can't be more bad than the other. It's
I
all
think
it's all
one can
bad.
be more bad than another. I think when you're talking about $1 million checks versus a few pennies to work to feed your family, and you die building the World Cup stadium because you couldn't afford to live without that job, I think
All
that's
right,
different. I think
all
there's a
right,
difference there.
all right.
I'm
If you want
kidding.
to go there,
No, I don't want to go there. Okay,
in the
no,
same
good.
token, we got
Okay.
CTE players murdering their whole families or
Yeah,
girlfriends or whatever. All that shit
yeah.
happen. Yeah, that shit
Yeah, that
happens
does
too.
happen. I'm not. Look, I'm not giving those guys a pass. I'm not. I'm just saying there's a difference between being told, "Hey, here's a million, a $10 million contract over the next 3 years, 5 years, or whatever, and these are the risks involved," and then also going to a country where there is economic turmoil and saying, "Hey, let me exploit your labor with this pennies on a dollar paycheck to build this stadium where you might
Listen,
die. You
listen,
might die doing
listen.
this."
It's all evil. I think.
It
I
is
think
all
what
evil.
I think what
It
we've
is.
learned. What we learned here is nothing is sacred, and nothing in this world is good.
Yeah,
None of it.
not
None of
anything that's good has a bad side. Don't put anything on a pedestal. Just know if you're gonna enjoy the good thing, just know that there's a dark side to it, and be
There
and
is.
be okay
There
with it.
has to be,
There
right?
has to, yes, yes.
Right.
There's
There
no
has to be.
There has to be, bro. Like you enjoy this podcast, great. Just know me and Rudy aren't great people, though. We're not. We not. We never have been. Like straight up. Like, I've never purported to be a good person. Right? These stories that we
These are
tell,
wild. These are wild claims.
these ain't wild claims, bro. These stories that we tell, that like, come on, man. If anybody's not looking at those stories and be like, God, you're kind of an asshole, like. That's like good, normal people don't get themselves into those situations, dog.
Oh
That's
boy.
all I'm saying.
Woo. Well,
Yeah.
talking about bad, good or bad people. Jordan Peterson. Do you know who Jordan Peterson is?
I don't. I've seen his name pop up a little bit on my
Oh, really?
timeline.
You don't know who it is?
No, I
Well,
don't. I
this is a
don't.
first. This
Yeah.
is a first. You're pretty knowledgeable about most things. Jordan Peterson was a college professor in Canada who got really popular by he was what was he doing? He was kind of picketing against some kind of school rule or something like that, that if if people wanted to be using different kind of pronouns, he wasn't going to go abide by it or whatever.
Oh, he's
And
one
he
of
became
those.
viral, but yeah, he became viral
Okay.
by it. And then he's made his bones kind of preaching this kind of like
He's built an empire
whatever.
on it. Okay, that makes total
So yeah,
sense.
so it's this kind of guy. So he makes a living literally trolling, like technically, right? But just in a, an intellectual way, right? Like he's like a
Yeah.
professor, so his weight, and the words that he says are probably smarter than mine because he's a fucking professor. But
He's a learned
but
man.
yeah, he's a yeah. But at the same time, it's just like, it's like the scam is, if you really want to put on airs and stuff like that, like, and you could trick people into believing like your bullshit and stuff, you pull yourself a Kevin Samuels, and it's the same concept.
Yeah.
Kevin Samuels is it's the same grift, except Kevin Samuels wasn't a fucking professor and a white
Yeah.
dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, he made his living kind of being controversial and stuff. This guy, but he left Twitter this week um, after he commented on this. I could share this with you actually, so you could see what I'm talking about.
Oh, the Sports Illustrated thing. He's
Yes,
that
yes,
guy.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
So he wrote. Here we go. He wrote, "Sorry, not beautiful, and no amount of authoritarian tolerance is going to change that." So this is the picture of the Sports Illustrated model, and
Hmm.
he just had to say his 2 cents. Now
Hmm.
the thing is though, that he's all about freedom of expression and saying your piece, and nobody should censor you and stuff for saying, and he's totally allowed to say what it is. Go for it.
Yeah.
Say what
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
say what you want.
Yeah.
But you're on Twitter. You're on Twitter, you fucking idiot. Like, would you think
Yep.
people are gonna not like light your ass on fire after that? So
Yep.
he got flooded with a bunch of like, like funny ass like comments and stuff like that. And then, well, I'll read you some, I guess. Someone wrote, why do men feel it's their duty to publicly pronounce their view on attractiveness of women? Couldn't you just keep it to yourself? I love your talks, but this comment is beyond disappointing, and so on and so on and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he wrote, he wrote, I told my staff to change my password to keep me from temptation, and I'm departing once again. If I have something to say, I'll write an
Once
article or make a
again.
video. If the issue is not important enough to justify that, then perhaps it would be best to just let it go. Yeah, that's probably
Yeah.
the smartest thing you said.
I think that's how most people operate, right? Like most people have been taught if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. This guy is acting like he's learned some new fucking profound way of going about his life, and it's like, no, bitch. Every 6-year-old knows that. Like, yeah, if I don't have anything to say, I'm just not going to say it. Like, what do you
Yeah,
what? Like, I think
yeah.
it's I think it's funny. I think
Every
it's just
6 year old, every
just
six
straight
year old.
up. Come on, man. Like it's kind of crazy though that like yeah, who those people that turn around, those people that say, "Yeah, it's my right. I live in America. We have freedom of speech, right?" I
Mm,
always feel like it's worth reminding those people that you having freedom of speech does not necessarily mean you're also free from consequences. Right? You
yeah,
say something stupid,
yeah,
people are allowed to lambast you for it. People are allowed to
yeah,
then invoke their freedom of speech to tell you how much of an idiot you are.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's just, and so like you said, he had the right to say whatever the fuck he wanted to say about that model and whatever. Common sense would have told him probably shouldn't go that route, right?
Hmm.
Common sense would tell you that, but he decided to do it anyway. So that's your right. But then it's also our right to make you look like a fucking misogynist piece of shit that you are.
Yeah, yeah. So I think like, and just to clarify too, for like, I like love that conversation, or that little bit of conversation with like freedom of speech is like,
Mm.
literally what what freedom of speech is, and it's like super essence is that no matter what you say, you can't go to jail
You can't
for
be
it. That
prosecuted for it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really it. That's
that's
like
it. Yeah,
that's its base. You're not
because
gonna
hate
go to
speech isn't
prison.
covered and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like yeah,
yeah, you won't go to prison for speaking, which isn't a right in a lot of countries, which is a very real thing.
it
And a
is.
lot of other
Yes,
things, if you criticize the president or whatever, you're going away. Like,
go to
you're
China and
disappearing.
try to
Right,
talk
yeah,
shit
right, right,
about the CCP. We'll see.
right, right. So I think that a lot of people don't understand that since we don't live in that kind of world, they conflate what freedom of speech is to
Hmm.
this level that, no, bro, you have no idea what like the actual like what how bad it can be for certain people who do speak or
Yeah.
whatever. So like in this guy's case, like you said, he said what he needed to say. fine, but then he got clapped back for it. And in our society, and specifically like our capitalistic society, fucking Target or whoever's sponsoring your podcast or whatever the fuck it is can bounce out.
Can
But
peace
that's
out.
the market. That's the free market that you fuckers rail for,
Yep.
and then can't stand that it shoots you in the face uh because you didn't realize like that's how it works, man. That's
For
how
you
it
too.
works.
It's
Yeah,
always a for thee, not for me kind of mentality that
exactly,
comes out of that camp.
exactly,
And that's what you end
exactly.
up with. And so yeah, you have the freedom to say that stupid shit, but Target has the freedom to pull their sponsorship. So
Yeah.
good luck with
So
that.
so how do you feel about like at least on the podcast? So let's say like we like make it to a point that we're a lot, we have a lot of people who listen. We're making some decent, we can make a living off of this.
Mhm.
At what point do you censor yourself? Do you stop? Do you try to kind of like be a little more friendly, like a little more money friendly, or do you still kind of not want to like sell your soul because you don't feel like you need to do that? I don't know. What's your thoughts on that? Have you ever thought about that kind of stuff?
I do. I think about it all the time. And you can attest to this because I feel like what I'm it's like, all right. So when we're sitting here, we're talking. This is all a performance for me in my head. This is all a performance, right? You and I will have conversations. I'll have conversations with Jarvis and with Brandon and all these different people, and I will say a lot of the same things that I'm saying on the podcast to you guys without an audience.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know that I will immediately after recording and, give me a few hours and I'll come back to you and be like, I don't like that I said that. We need to cut this line that I said. It's a joke, sure, but it's going to come across the wrong way. And I don't want that to be part of
Sure,
my image. Right.
sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I feel like if we ever got to a point where we were able to make a living off of it, would I pull my punches? Probably not live, like while we're recording right now. Nah, I'm going to say what I need to say. But upon reflection, absolutely. Absolutely. That can't make the cut. I can't. I have women in my life. I can't say what I just said. I know it was a joke, but that joke would offend my mom. So yeah, let's take that out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I
But
do
see,
think.
but here's the thing. See, but if it's a joke,
Mhm.
why? Right? That's the thing. If you were dead set serious, but
Yeah.
see, okay. I think that's the
Yes.
comparison right there, right?
Exactly.
Dead set, dead serious, offensive people don't give a shit about really anything
About
because
offending. That's their goal.
right, right. But since you're joking, why should that?
Because I
Why
care
should that
about
be?
offending people. And I don't want
Right,
to
but if
offend
you're,
them.
I know, right, but you're joking, and you're
I know,
actually
but jokes can
aware
be.
of it.
I know, but jokes can also be harmful. Like, okay, I am of the mindset that comedians should be able to go out and say whatever joke they want to, and people should
Hmm.
take that as a joke. I don't consider myself a comedian though. I'm
Mm.
just a
Okay,
no-name
okay,
writer who decided to do a podcast, or who was asked to do a podcast with his friend, and so I'm doing that. I don't think I have that same credibility to be able to make a joke about sensitive subjects
okay,
and get
okay.
away with it.
Fair enough that you don't consider yourself a comedian, but I think that we play in the comedic realm and stuff, and we're both
For
creative
sure.
people, and I
Yeah.
think that maybe I would maybe consider you're a comedic writer.
I would give myself that credit. Sure.
Okay, well there you go then. So I think, and this is funny because this is kind of the discussions that we have outside of the podcast
Off the
that people are
area.
listening. Yeah, I always want to be like, no, that's fine. Like I think that that's okay. Like I
Yeah.
don't think we should cut that or whatever. But then there are times that I do agree. But see,
Yeah.
that's the thing too. Like I think I have a good balance of like
You do. You
of
do.
yes and no, right? I think I
Yes, you
feel,
do.
but
You
it,
do.
it is a
I
it is a
trust you.
thing that we do.
I trust you now a lot more than I did in the beginning. And like look, like anybody
Why?
that's
Why? Why?
because
Why?
because
Where's
you
that coming
because
from?
you because you've shown yourself to be sincere. Like, look, man, all
Oh,
right.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
fair,
like we're
fair.
friends. I know you very well. I've known you very long for a very long period of time outside of the podcast. And I don't trust that you wouldn't take an opportunity to dump on me. Right? Like, I didn't trust that. I didn't trust that I would say something and you'd be like, yeah, it's fine, we'll cut it, and then use it anyway. Like, I really didn't.
No, I wouldn't do that. That's too fucked up. It's kind of like if I'm gonna fuck with you, at least on this, right? At least on this podcast, like I want you to see the stab coming. Like I'm not trying to stab you behind the back. Like it's like, no, dude, we're gonna leave it or whatever the conversation is, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I would not. I definitely wouldn't do that.
You would, and I trust that now. But if for anybody listening, if you go back to our earlier episodes, like there was one point when I was like, I don't want to be on camera. Like I was a diva about the whole thing, man. I wouldn't be on camera. Yeah. I didn't want to talk. I was like, I'm not going to talk anymore on the podcast. I just keep my mouth fucking shut. I'm not saying anything. Like I was just very, very self-aware, and I really thought that y'all was gonna fucking like I was gonna make myself sound stupid, and then y'all were just gonna fucking amplify it and run with it. I was really afraid of that.
That's so funny.
Yeah, because that's what we do, though. Like in our personal life,
we fuck with each other.
We fuck with each other. And I was like, I'm not about to give y'all leeway to fuck with me and have recorded proof to use however you want. That was my thing.
That's fair. That is totally fair. That's totally fair.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So in other trending topics, Taco Bell's Mexican pizza is finally back. I've never had one, but everyone's excited about it. I know Anthony's excited about it.
Or am I? What is it? Okay, so first off, what is a Taco Bell Mexican pizza? Is it the crunch wrap thing? Because I thought that was the Mexican pizza.
This is what it looks like. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, ew! What? No.
So it's two fried tortillas, and in between it's beef, and on top is cheese and tomato. Doesn't look bad. That doesn't look bad if I'm drunk at 2 a.m.
Yeah, but what looks bad when you're drunk? That's like last call, lights go on, you going home with whatever. That's what this looks like.
This looks like something that you make at home because you don't have anything left.
Because you ain't got shit else. You're just slapping some stuff together and you're like, all right, I'm gonna call it a Mexican pizza. All right, there we go. Like, nah, man, this looks terrible. Although, I probably would try it.
I would try it. I think we should try it. I think we should, for the next podcast, we both go bring some Mexican pizzas and we try it.
But see, I don't think that's fair because we come from an era of drinking all night and then eating Taco Bell. I think if we were going to try something on here, it would have to be something that we have vehemently refused to try throughout.
Sure.
Yeah, throughout our worst years. Like there were years where we only had enough money for food or drink and we bought drinks and then ate whatever. What did we avoid during those times? What was that food?
You know, I'm not that kind of person though. I always try to eat anything like people that are our age and they're like, yeah, I wouldn't eat sushi. You're an idiot.
People don't say that anymore. People don't.
Yes, they do.
Really?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. There's people. I swear to God. Swear to God. We'll put out a poll. If you're above 30 years old and you're like ill about sushi, you're a fucking
don't insult them if you want them to answer the poll honestly. You can't go. We'll put out a poll to see who likes sushi over 30. But if you say no, you're a fucking idiot. You can't do that. You're not gonna get any answers.
Well, you put the poll out so they know it's not coming from me. Then
I can put a poll out, but they'll hear this and know that you're gonna give them hell for it.
Okay, but real talk. Like, there's something so off about like people who don't like to try, at least try the fucking shit. Try it. And also, like, how can you deny something that's so delicious? Like, I don't even understand that aspect of stuff. Like, come on, it's so good.
But see, but I get that, right? Like sushi, if you're gonna be if you are saying like a picky eater who's picky eater. Oh, I don't like sushi in general. All right, well, like, yeah, maybe try it. And if you don't like it, then that's like you don't like it, right? But if you're that's how some people are, where they don't even try it because yeah. I know that some people I genuinely don't believe that there are people out there still that like haven't tried sushi, but they're like, oh, I'm not trying this foreign food. Like,
I bet there is.
Not with sushi. With other stuff, I'm sure. But with sushi, it's so Americanized now. Like, you ever walk into a sushi restaurant, man, everybody in there is clear skin as fuck, blue eyes, blonde.
I know. Yeah, and I'm telling you,
I'm
I
sorry
I
for
swear
calling
to
y'all
God.
clear skins too. That was rude as fuck. I'm so sorry. That came up without me even being able to check it, check my filter. See, this is the kind of shit I might cut that. I might be like, yo, cut when I call white
He
people
meant
clear
what?
skins, please.
Well, we can't cut it now because you apologize in real time. So, yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
now
We'll
it's
see.
uncuttable, and now
We'll see.
it's uncuttable. Now it's
We'll see.
uncuttable.
We'll see. We'll
No, we
see.
won't. No, we won't.
We'll see.
No, we won't. No, but here's the thing. Like there, man, I wish we had a friend that we knew that I knew off bat that they don't like sushi. I wish I knew a friend.
Exactly. You don't know anybody. That's what I'm saying. That's my point. My point is that those people don't really exist. Like they don't
They do,
exist.
bro.
There's people out there that's tried sushi. It was like, I don't like this. Isn't for me. And you can't fault them because people have personal taste. But I can't personally say I know anyone. I'm talking about professionally, personally, like as an acquaintance. I don't know anybody who's just like, oh, I've never had sushi and I hate it. And in my 30 odd years, 37 plus years of living, that's
Okay,
been something that fell
because
away about 10 years ago.
because you know cool people and you know like people that you know worldly people.
I wouldn't give all these people I'm talking about that kind of credit. I wouldn't.
I have a feeling. I just know. I don't know why. I just know. I have a feeling that it is a thing. But whatever. We'll move on. We'll
All
move
right.
on.
All right.
We'll put
all
a
right.
poll out and we'll see if I'm fucking right or wrong. Because
All
I have
right.
a feeling I'm right. I have a feeling I'm right. If you put a poll, what would the question be like? Have you ever tried sushi? Have you ever not tried? What would it even look like? The question.
Okay, so the question would have to be because we want to get people who's never tried sushi, but are also saying, and I never plan to. Right. So I
Right.
think the question
Yeah.
would have to be along the lines of, um, if you've never eaten sushi before, do you plan to try it? Yes or no?
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Right?
Fair. I literally want to see. I want to see people's. If we get more than one, like, does it by percentages or by like actual people who like click on it or
It
whatever?
gives us a number. Like we get to see
Okay, it
who,
gives us
but
a number.
it'll give you a percentage.
Okay,
Yeah.
I. How much do you want to bet on this? Because I know more than one person is gonna say yeah to that. I know at least one
You think
person will
more than
say.
one person?
Yeah, I think more than one person. I'll make it fair. More than one person would say yeah to that question. That they don't plan on, that never had it and don't plan on it either because it's gross.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I think that if we make a bet between ourselves, we're gonna have people voting on who they want to win versus versus the actual
Okay.
question at hand.
Okay, fine. No bet in place, but I genuinely want to
You
see.
think more than
I think more than one.
I don't agree though. But but then
Well, that's fine. We'll have the question. It'll be
okay, yeah,
posed.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I don't know. Cause you know what? I feel like I'm not gonna lie. I know we just had our dog poll. The who wore it best poll with the dog chains on that shit. And I know we were both watching it very closely.
I was slightly offended at you fuckers for not fucking not letting me win, or at least
Look,
a tie. It would have been great as a tie.
that's what I wanted to happen.
You took
Honestly,
you took a better picture though. I think that's what
you
it
think
was.
so? I think
so.
you took a better picture.
No,
I was
I
like,
think you
oh
took a
man, he
better
got the
picture.
R pendant on there, and I thought you were gonna win because the R pendant, and I wanted so badly because we would be like neck and neck, right? And then you'd go up 2 votes. And I'd be like, they're voting for the fucking R pendant. That pendant's not real. He put that in there. Like, I was like, so I was like, same, bro. I was like, I wanted to end in a tie. I just wanted to end in a tie. And I was like, Beth was like, oh, she's like, Rudy's dog is winning again. And I'm like, I shouldn't have put the fucking full name. I should have just put Ruth. I should, because everybody's voting for Ruth Bader Ginsburg because it's such a fucking good name. But they're both good dogs. They're both very pretty dogs.
They're all winners.
Yeah, we're the real winners, honestly, because they're our dogs. So I don't know why I just went on that tangent, but
we'll put the poll on. Put the poll.
We'll put the poll on. We'll do that.
All right. Next. This was, I think, what the last podcast or the one before it. Madison Cawthorns of the Cawthorns of Connecticut. He lost his NC primary.
Yes.
Which is fucking amazing. Which is so great. He lost. So, but see, that's the thing I was saying before, that if you don't play by the rules of the Republican Party, you're out. You're out of there. You're out of there. So yeah.
I was just gonna say, so wait, what you're saying is what Madison Cawthorn should do now is just drop the list. Start letting us know who was at these orgy parties and who was doing lines of blow. He should just
I mean, if he's see, here's the thing. He might just end up more paralyzed now because if he does that kind of shit, they're gonna be real mad. They're
You
gonna
think
be
they're coming
real.
for him like that?
I mean, I don't look like. I mean, we all saw fucking House of Cards, right? And like, we're dealing, we're dealing, we're dealing with money and power here, man. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
as my the one thing that fascinates me the most is just how the world really operates.
yeah,
Like even at the smallest level, bro. Like if you go become like a Disney character or something like that, you're gonna understand a whole new world of how like they work and what they do and the people they deal with and weird
yeah,
shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
It's just
yeah.
it's not what you think it is, right? You know what
Never.
I
It
mean?
never is. Yeah.
It never is. It never is. So like that's endlessly fascinating to me. And like and these guys are literally in the halls of power, man. They got money, they got shit to lose. Like who's to say that like what kind of awful shit do they really got going? We don't know. We have
We
no
don't.
clue.
But Madison
So,
Cawthorn does, and if he's a
well,
real patriot, if he want to back up all that bullshit he was talking, he'd release them names. And you're just one man. Sometimes you got to martyr yourself, bro. I say you
yeah.
want it. You want a redemption arc. This is it. This is your
So
redemption arc, Madison.
so just the quick recap kind of why he kind of fell out of the party. He was making
Yeah,
claims about other lawmakers doing illicit drugs and inviting him to orgies, driving with the revoked license, bringing a loaded gun to an airport twice, being eyed by ethics watchdogs over suspicious and possible insider trading, calling Ukraine's president a thug. He also is accused of flirting with white nationalist ideology after news emerged that he visited Adolf Hitler's vacation home known as Eagle's Nest prior to taking office. So all that stuff wasn't really bad until he did the whole coke and orgies claim, because
until he
all that
started
other stuff
talking.
was before.
That
All
was
that other
swept under.
stuff.
Nobody was talking about that
Yeah,
until he
yeah.
started talking about coke parties and orgies with his fellow fucking congressmen. And now all of a
Yeah.
sudden, look at all this terrible stuff he was doing. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, come
Hey,
on,
by
bro.
the
Like,
by the way, guys, no, so like he's out now. He's out, and yeah, he could do two things. He can come back with like revenge and try to make a book. There's ways to make money off of his thing. Make a
absolutely.
book. He could do a lot of stuff, but that would probably ruffle more feathers. And so we'll see. I think it's interesting. So I just want to keep a eye on
Yeah, dude, that motherfucker
Madison
was
Cawthorn,
all over the place, bro. I was like, he's
dude.
like, oh, he took a loaded gun to a fucking to the to the airport twice. I'm like, oh, this nigga want to be a rapper. Then you're like, oh, but he was also flirting with white nationalists. Like, oh, this nigga wants to be a conservative. Like, what does he want to be? What is
I don't know.
where is
I
his?
don't know,
Like,
man.
he's a gay paraplegic conservative Republican lawmaker, bro. Like, what?
Jesus Christ. You really nailed it down for me on that one. That's true. That's all he's all those things.
He's all those things. And
Oh
Madison, you could be
boy.
so much more, man. You could be so much more. Just drop them names, bro. Let us know who. Let us know who to actually
Yeah.
turn the sights
Yeah.
on. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
bro. Yeah, I'm into it. I'm into it.
I'm here for it.
One of the last things, monkeypox is on the rise, and I don't want to laugh at the name because it's really scary and
This is
dangerous.
fucking dumb.
But
This
again,
is fucking dumb, dog. I don't want to.
but
Oh my
monkeypox,
god.
monkeypox is spreading, and they think it's also because like there's a theory going around, not a theory, but there's like an idea that like COVID really kind of fucked up with our immunity a lot because you
Mhm.
see these kind of lingering side effects from it and stuff. So it's just
Yeah,
we're kind of like weaker because of it.
yeah.
So it's making monkeypox like more viral and stuff like that. So
That's great.
it's really
That's cool.
terrifying because people get like these like it's like chicken pox, but it's like bigger and it's like filled with pus. It's looks
It looks
disgusting, man.
disgusting. I'm just hoping. Honestly, I'm just hoping monkeypox didn't come from or originate from an African country. Please, that's just too easy. Such low hanging fruit. Like, just be from anywhere else in the world, just not Africa. I don't. That's all I. That's all.
Listen,
But in real talk, go ahead. Sorry.
as a black man, I get it, but I'm kind of more scared of getting this thing than like the racist the connotations that come
Nah,
with like
I've read a
monkey.
little bit about monkeypox, and it's something that we've been aware of for a long time. The CDC knows about it. It's not something that they're too worried about. What the the fear around monkeypox from people in the know, people who are paid to do this, excuse me, the fear around monkeypox isn't monkeypox itself. It's in how monkeypox can be spread, looking back at how we've handled COVID.
Oh yeah, sure.
That's the fear. The fear isn't, oh, monkeypox is this new thing that we've never seen before. The fear is if this thing gets out into the public, coupled with COVID and with the people who deny COVID is real or deny that vaccinations work, we may be looking at, a boom in people getting sick. Like over in Massachusetts right now, there's what is it, the third strain of Omicron COVID is being spread rapidly right now in fucking Massachusetts. And why is that? We've been dealing with COVID for 2.5 fucking years. Y'all didn't get your shit together yet, Massachusetts? You don't know, just put on a fucking mask, get vaccinated, stay in the house. Like, what are you doing? So yeah, monkeypox comes around. Gotta start looking at your neighbor like, yo, bro, like this is nah, man. No, don't talk to me.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop monkeying around, is what I think.
Okay. Okay.
No?
I needed that tension break. I was feeling myself. My chest was getting tight, so I appreciate
here's
that.
The thing. Here's the thing about this, and it'll be my last piece before moving on. Mm-hmm. This is something physically that you see. Mm-hmm. And that's a whole different kind of reaction to something that, quote unquote, was invisible to most people. One would hope.
One would hope. Yeah. I don't put it past anybody to just be like, oh, no, you just got acne. This is bad acne. Oh.
You're right. Well, anyway, talking about losing hope. One of the last things I want to play for you. I might do one more after this. Okay. I might do one more, but I might even save this for the next pod. I think I'll save this other one for the next podcast. I think because it's loaded. This one is super loaded. This other one I want to play. Okay. But anyway, talking about losing hope. So, President Bush was making a speech a couple of days ago. And he had a Freudian slip, and I don't know if you've seen this. Have you not seen this? I'm hope you. Yeah, George W.
George W. Oh, good old George W. Nah.
Well, I'm glad. Well, I'm kind of glad that you haven't, because usually sometimes you're, like I said, you're pretty in the know for a lot of stuff. So this is he was making a speech and he had a little slip up. So I really want you to pay attention though, okay. To what he said. And he's talking about pretty much the what's happening in the Ukraine. So he was just talking about that, but he makes a little boo boo.
In contrast, Russian elections are rigged. Political opponents are imprisoned or otherwise eliminated from participating in the electoral process. The result is an absence of checks and balances in Russia, and the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of Iraq. I mean, of Ukraine. Yeah. 75.
Wow. Yeah.
Hilarious, right, guys? Right? Everyone laughing in the audience. Hilarious. And a justified war in Iraq. We didn't fucking forget, you fucking assholes.
We did not forget. Never forget. Never forget. Bro, that was probably a bigger bomb than he's actually ever dropped in his life. That was pretty fucking bad. Because no one, I don't think anybody believes that in 2022. I don't think anybody believes, even though they say they'll say they do. I don't think anybody believes that war in Iraq was justified. I don't think anybody believes the war on terror is the war on terror is kind of going the same way as the war on drugs, right? People are starting to understand that these were policies put in place to, for people with a certain interest to make a lot of money.
We just got out of Afghanistan, literally, like a year ago.
I don't even think we're fully out yet.
We were out. No,
we're fully out. We're fully out now. We got
don't you remember? Out. Don't you remember what happened like a week after the Taliban took over again?
Oh yeah, yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah, yes. You're right. You're
because
right.
Because we pulled out.
Because we pulled our troops out. Yeah, and then everybody started talking about, see, that's why we need to be back. Like, nah, man.
Yeah,
look,
you
man,
see,
we don't need to be
it's
the world's
because
police.
Of this stupid shit. No, we don't. No, we fucking don't.
No, you don't.
So I thought that was pretty goddamn funny because Yeah, that's a big.
It is funny,
That's
ha ha ha. Because what are you gonna do to him now? He can't.
God,
The
fucking.
deed's been done. He can get up there. Like you said, he turned it. He made a joke. I didn't hear what the actual end piece of because I was laughing so hard at his actual slip up.
He said.
Right?
He's like. I mean, Ukraine. 75.
Oh, he
75.
was
Yeah.
saying his name, his age, and alluding to
Yeah.
the fact
Yeah.
that I'm an old man and feeble. Ha ha
Yeah.
ha.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Forget that he was one of the most powerful, if not still one of the most powerful men on the planet. But no, I'm a feeble old man. Ha ha ha! I just made a mistake. Like no, bro, you were trying to
You were
unbear. Your
a
soul
fucking.
wanted to be unbared. Is what's happening right now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So fucking terrible, man. The
Not
pieces of
great.
shit. But
Not
anyway,
great.
I think on a lighter note, and I kind of want to end this podcast. I think we have time.
Okay,
So, what do you know about NFTs, non-fungible tokens? And
that's
I don't
pretty
want you to
much.
give me I don't want you to give me a fucking description of it because it's kind of news to me too. So
Yeah,
I
I'm
kind
gonna
of
say the only thing I know about NFTs is that it stands for non fungible tokens. That's all I know about it.
well,
I know people
everyone's
trade
hop
them.
yeah, everyone's hopping on the train.
Mm.
We actually do have our first episode of the podcast is actually an NFT. Actually,
Is
do you
it?
not remember? Yeah, I
Oh
did that
yeah,
a
you
while
did.
ago.
You
Yeah,
did it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's still there, but like we're nobody, so it doesn't matter. But I thought it was cool to just make it and stuff. And it
Yeah.
cost me a little bit of money because I had to use Ethereum to make that happen. It wasn't
Oh
cheap. It wasn't.
no.
I thought it was like one of those things like, oh, you just make it into no, but you have to put value on
You
it to buy
use
it
your
and
crypto? No,
yeah,
bro. On
yeah,
us?
yeah,
That was bad
yeah.
investment.
Well, anyway, whatever. So it's there, it exists, it's a thing. So the thing is that the actual podcast is still like on, it's still alive. So the day that we do take it off, like the only way you'll be able to have it is the NFT or whatever. But anyway, that's
Gotcha.
what I thought. It was just cool to do whatever. But a lot of people are hopping on it. We're no different, all right. And one of the biggest pop stars on the planet decided to do an NFT, but it's not what you think. Okay, so this is Madonna, and she decided to do an NFT. Now, like if I throw out Madonna, she did an NFT. What do you think that would look like to you? Like, what would you
Like
get
a
creative?
virgin.
You're in a pitch meeting. Yeah, what's the NFT look like to
Like a
you?
virgin. Cone titties. Veils over the face. I don't know, something like that.
Okay, you're close. You're close.
Okay. All right.
So it is a piece of art. It's not really her music. So it is a piece of her art, and the art is this.
Oh, snap.
Now we're gonna
That's
blur this. We're gonna blur this for the YouTube
for the YouTube.
the
Yeah.
video. But
Yeah.
what you're seeing here
The
is a
giver of
tree
life.
growing out of a tree growing out of her vagina. It's a
Mhm.
pretty sturdy tree too. It's not like
That's a solid oak right there. That's solid wood. Just tell you, solid wood right there. I don't. Okay. Well, okay. So, but this is okay. It is not even about the content that she's using for the NFT, right? Because
Mhm.
this is actually pretty cool. It's kind of cool. Mother of Nature, Mother Earth.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool image and all that stuff. So I'm not
Mhm.
about that. But we're looking at it, right? We're looking at it right now. So why would someone need this as an NFT? Like I could rip this right now and have it forever.
Yeah, it's that we're going to the debate of what NFTs are, but look,
Yeah,
there's more vagina stuff.
I'm
There's
into it.
also
I'm
there's
always
also
into
like
more vagina stuff.
just
Honestly, just being real with you. I'm a
we have
warm-blooded male. I'm into it.
we have butterflies coming out of her vagina. That's
Ooh, and
cool.
going straight into my belly. Look at that. Ooh, give me butterflies, girl. Let's go. What else?
I really thought you were gonna be bothered by this, but you're very
Why?
pro NFT right now.
No, I'm very pro nude woman. Nudity is fine.
Oh, this is too much though.
What is that? What is that? Is that like a
Caterpillars coming out
caterpillar's
of
coming
it.
out of it? Coming out of her
No,
vagina?
virgin.
as people who's never
That's
seen or
hardcore.
experienced one would say, that's a little hardcore, but it's also like I don't know. It doesn't bother me.
It's part of the part of the artwork.
Yeah.
I thought it's just funny because like she's been getting so much shit, like she's trying to act young and not really aging like gracefully. So
Yeah.
she's been getting a lot of shit. She's like, come on, Madonna, like be cool.
Wait, was
Be
that
cool
her
like you
though,
used to.
or did she use a model? Like, I didn't
It's
look
her.
like
It's
her.
it's her. It's her image. But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
It's
like
not like
CGI.
her. Yeah, yeah. It's like CGI her, but also like her in this unrealistic. Like, look at how high her. I don't know if you could really see
Yeah,
it,
you could see
but
it.
her cheekbones were like up to here.
Straight up, yeah. The unrealistic beauty standards. If you really wanted to do
There
this
you go.
mother of nature, you could have done it yourself, as yourself, and all that stuff. Like, I
I
get
mean,
that.
you are Madonna. Like,
You,
why not? You know,
yeah,
but
no, I
you
get
know, you
that.
also have money, and you're also living in a world that few of us will ever, if any, experience ever. We don't know what that's like. The pressure of, you know, what the pressure of like being Madonna must be. That must be
Not just
crazy.
the
That's what
pressure of
happened to Michael Jackson.
fame. That's what I'm gonna say. The pressure of fame in general is just like aging gracefully as a famous person is only something as a concept. And I'm not the kind to usually take the side of the rich and powerful. All right, like I'm usually not on their side. But to be real,
Mm-hmm.
aging gracefully in the industry, especially as people that have had flirted with and worked within, and it's just not something that would have been tolerated 10 years ago. That's just not something that you could have actually done. It's something that people are speaking out about now because, yeah, I'd like to be 50 and not look like a plastic fucking rendition of myself done poorly. Like the
Mm-hmm.
technology, first off, the technology for a lot of these procedures that are being done clearly have not caught up yet. Like the technology just isn't there yet, dog. Like when you see somebody's face stapled behind their fucking head, it's the technology just ain't there yet. Give it a few. Give it some time. So yeah, bro. Like I not shaming any of them because I do feel like they should have they should be advocating for being able to age gracefully and
Yeah.
wanting to
Yeah.
look like normal human beings when you're 60 years old. Some of these motherfuckers look straight up alien, dog.
Yeah.
Like
This is
straight up
men and
alien.
women too.
Men
Men
and
and
women,
women.
yeah. No,
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, across the board. Men, women, non-binaries, all of them. Every single motherfucker from that era. They
Oh
all
my
look a
god.
little weird. Like you see fucking what's his name? Was it John Travolta?
Yeah, yeah. All of them. Like they all look strange.
So like you're not human anymore, dude. Like
Yeah, yeah.
what is that?
Yeah.
What is that? It's insane. Yeah.
The only NFT that I'm interested right now in is the NFT of equality.
Shut up. You
That's what
think
I'm
like
about. That's what
you think somebody can actually create an equality NFT and it not get shit on? Like right now, it's so crazy to me
I
that
don't even know what that means. An
it
equality
doesn't.
NFT.
It don't matter. It don't. That's my point. My
Like,
point is, it don't matter what it means. You put any type of like in 2022, we live in a world where if somebody wants you to use a different pronoun, people get upset. If somebody wants to remind you that certain lives matter, they get upset. If somebody wants to put up a rainbow sticker on the back of their car, people get upset. We live in a
yeah.
world where to be an individual who's advocating for equality makes you the bad guy. It's fucking crazy to me.
Bro, I don't make it make sense. All
Can't.
of this. All of
Can't,
this.
bro. It's just the powers that be are kicking and screaming. They don't want to see change at all. No
Well,
change whatsoever. They don't want to see change so bad they got rid of money and started using crypto tokens and NFTs, dog. Like got rid of physical money. We want no change whatsoever. We're eliminating that shit from our lexicon.
That was clever. That was a clever one.
Thank you. I like
Congrats.
thank you.
Well, with that on that clever note, this is the end of the podcast. I want to just say thank you everyone again as always for listening and for continuing to listen. It's so cool as always, so unreal. So I hope that we can catch you guys on the next one.